Hey parents, CIY Mix, our middle school camp, is just a couple of weeks away, and so I wanted to make this video and go over all the details about camp and just kind of make sure that you are aware of everything to expect for our trip. First of all, in the mail, I'll send it today. It should be there in the next couple of days. You will get a hard copy of all of the information that I'm going to cover here. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail than what is in the letter just to explain a few things a little bit more clearly, but you will get a hard copy in the mail. You can also get a digital copy of this page at graceodessa.com/students. First of all, there are 2 release forms for middle school camp that I need every single family to fill out. A lot of you have filled out one of those forms already, and now we have a second form. So one form is for our church, and one form is for CIY Mix. So please go fill out those 2 forms if you haven't done so already. And that can be done at graceodessa.com/students, and you can fill out both of those forms online. It just takes a couple of minutes. Next up, let's talk about electronics. Students are allowed to bring electronics with them to camp. So if your child has a phone or an iPad or a Kindle or some sort of electronic device that they want to bring with them, they are allowed to bring that. They don't have to. It's completely optional, but they can bring it if they want. Here's the thing. Your child will be responsible for keeping up with their electronics, charging their electronics, keeping up with their electronics for themselves. And so just be aware of that. The other thing that we want to let you know is that we do have a rule that when we go into our main sessions, our worship times, and also our Bible study times, we're going to ask our students not to be using their electronics. And so as long as they can follow those guidelines, they are allowed to bring electronics with them. All right, let's talk about the schedule. On June 12th, that's a Sunday, that's the day that we leave for camp, we would like for all families to meet us in the church parking lot at 7 a.m. When you arrive, you'll take all of your child's luggage and you'll take it over to the church trailer where we will get that loaded up. Once everybody has arrived, we will gather everybody up and we'll say a prayer together, just asking God for a safe trip and a wonderful time while we are away at camp. And then we will hit the road. We hope to be on the road by 7:30 a.m. We will have some donuts available for breakfast, but if you want something a little bit more substantial, you may eat before you come. Then, on the way back, we will leave camp on Thursday, June 16th at 8:30 a.m., and we will probably be back around 2:30 in the afternoon. When we get about 1 hour away from Odessa, we'll have all the kids call home and just say, hey, we're 1 hour away, just so we can give you a better ETA of when we'll be back. If you want to know what happens each day of camp, on the page that there is a link right here that you can go see what's happening each day of camp. And it's broken down every single activity, how long every activity is. It'd take too long to go over right now, so if you're interested in that, you can do that by going to that link. All right, let's talk about money that will be needed while we are at camp. There's 2 different types of money, and they're both outlined here in the middle right here. There is money that your child definitely needs to bring with them, and then some optional things that they could bring money for if they choose to. First of all, let's go over what they need. So your child will be responsible for buying 2 meals while we are away at camp, and these are meals that we will eat. We will eat lunch on the way to camp at a restaurant, and then we will eat lunch on the way home from camp at a restaurant. We will stop for fast food, and so $20 will be more than enough money to pay for those 2 meals while we travel. Everything else is covered while we're at camp. Every meal, everything that they do at camp, it's all included in the price that you've already paid. Those 2 meals are the only thing that they are responsible for, that they have to bring money for. Now, there's some optional things that they can bring money for. So there will be a CIY Mix store where they can buy t-shirts or swag or little knickknacks that are branded with CIY Mix on them. Those are all optional. If they want to buy anything at the CIY Mix store, they need to bring spending money for that. There's also a snack bar at CIY Mix that is pretty cool. So for a few hours in the afternoon and then a few hours in the evening, they open up that snack bar. And if your kid would like to buy anything there, they'll need to bring a little bit of extra spending money for that. Kids will be responsible for keeping up with their own money and managing their own money. So please let them know that they've got to save a little bit of money so that they have money for them on the way home. But we're not going to let anybody go hungry. So if your kid spends all their money at the snack bar, I'll make sure that they eat lunch on the way home. Next up, let's talk about updates during camp. During the week, I will post pictures and videos and just kind of update families to let them know how the week is going. And I'm going to be doing those updates on the Grace Student Ministry group page on Facebook. So if you are not already a part of that group, then to find that group, what you need to do is to go on Facebook and type in Grace Student Ministry, Odessa, Texas. Search for that. It's going to pop up. You're going to see it. And then you're going to ask to be a part of that group. I will accept your where you have asked to be a part of the group, and then you will be able to, while we're at camp, see different updates that we'll post throughout the week. Next up, let's talk about the packing list. So on the page right here is going to be all of the things that kids need to bring with them to camp. And then right next to it is the dress code. So we do ask that students bring all the things that are on the packing list, and then they look at the dress code and make sure that everything that we bring with us abides by the rules that CIY Mix has put into place. Next, CIY has given us a list of their rules, and so please have your child read through CIY Mix's rules just so that they are aware of what is expected of them when we are at camp. Have them read that before we go to camp. I also want to let you know about our team color. So right here, you'll find out a little bit information about our team color. While we are at Mix, they have divided all of the students into 4 teams. So there is red, yellow, blue, and green. Our church youth group, all of us together, we are a part of the blue team. So for all of the games during the camp, during our recreation times, we will be a part of the blue team. Optionally, kids can bring anything blue that they would like to just show team spirit with. So if they have a blue hat or a blue shirt or blue shorts, blue face paint, whatever it is, if they want to bring some spirited blue things, they can do that. Just pack it with them for camp, and they can wear it during our rec times. Let's talk about medication. On this bottom part right here, we've got some guidelines about medication. I want to let you know that we do ask that if your child has any sort of medication that they need to bring with them, even if it's over the counter or if it's prescription, whatever it is, if you'll please either put that in the original bottle that has the guidelines of which it needs to be taken, or in a Ziploc bag with instructions written by you of how we need to administer that. When you arrive at the church on Sunday, we're going to ask that you give that to an adult just so that we are aware of what medications need to be taken and then how often. Go over that with one of the adults when you arrive at the church just so that we can make sure that that is administered correctly while we're at camp. If while we're at camp, you need to get a hold of me for any reason, I've got my phone number and my email address right here at the bottom of the page. So if you need to get a hold of me and it's time sensitive, call me and I will either answer or I'll call you right back as soon as I am available. If it's not time sensitive, you just need to check in, you have a question, or if you need a little bit of more information about something, you can email me, and my email address is right there at the bottom. And lastly, I want to let you know this is the contact information for the camp. So if you want to know, go to their website and look at the facilities, or if you want to just know more about where we're going to be, all of the information for the camp is right there. Let me take a second and go over a couple of things that aren't in the letter, but I did want to expound on a little bit more in this video. One is that our group will stay together for the most part during the week. So from the time you drop them off to the time we come home, we will do all of our activities and things together. So we eat our meals together. When we go to our main sessions and our worship times, we sit together as a group. In the dorms, our group is together. So our Our girls and our female sponsors will stay in the same dorm building, and our guys and our adult leaders will stay in the same dorm building. We will be together, and so we'll be able to keep an eye out for one another, be all together in one group, so we'll stay together. Another thing is that during our free time, there is tons of options, and we'll work and figure out which options our group will do. But there is a lake, and when we're at the lake, they have lots of options: kayaking, and there's a blob, and there's swimming, and there's a zip line, and there's all sorts of stuff. When we're at the lake, life jackets are required, and they provide the life jackets. There's an outdoor pool with a really huge, awesome water slide. In order to do the water slide, kids have to pass a swim test. There's a gym, there's basketball, there's 9 square, there's gaga ball, there's rec fields. There are so many options, and your kid is going to have so much fun. I am so excited for CIY Mix, and I'm glad that your middle schooler is going with us. Hopefully in this video I covered most of the questions that you might have about camp, but if you need me to go over anything else, if you have any additional questions, or need me to explain anything a little bit in more detail, please reach out to me and let me know. Can't wait for camp. I'll see you on June 12th.